What's going on? Okay, we know your time is valuable, so we're going to jump straight into the top 3 tips that we're going to share with you today that we use in our business and in our clients so that we can get them to the top of search results here, which no business owner cares where they're ranked at the top of Google. Not one. But everybody wants the result that comes from being at the top of Google, which is a ringing phone, more calls, more bookings, more opportunities to have more butts and seats, and able to close more deals that's going to generate more revenue for your bottom line. So if that's something that you're interested in, keep listening, because if you think we have a few tricks up our sleeve, we'd like to invite you at the end of this video to hit reply, schedule a quick 18-minute conversation. We just want to see if it's a fit. If not, fine, we'll go make someone else rich. But if there is an opportunity for us to expand your online presence, fine. If you want to take these tips and run with it too, that's fine as well. We just want to see if there's an opportunity for us to partner, and we think there is. That's why we're reaching out. So we're going to start by seeing if there's a large enough population to have more search volume coming in. And then secondly, we want to see if you have search terms that are actually getting found. People are ranking, people are competing for these kinds of phrases, because if there's competition, that means that there's a good chance there's market share, and you can collect on that market share if you beat out the competition. So hairstylist, Austin, Texas is a really good start, but we were looking at your website, and when we hover over this, it was lash extensions, facial wax. This is called a page title tag. And this title tag, you're basically telling Google, hey, this is where I want you to position me. This is what I want to be found as the most relevant for. So this is a relevancy game, okay? Not only are you dealing with proximity and what is closer to the person who's searching, but you also want to be found as the most relevant option here, so you can be found at the top in this map listing and here, especially where over 70% of the marketplace is coming in order to contact somebody, which is this map listing right here. But don't just limit it to one phrase. You can also do trim, Austin, Texas, haircut, Austin, Texas, hair salon, Austin, Texas. You can even switch these around so it's Austin, Texas, hair salon. Think outside the box. Put more of what we're going to share with you on your webpage, both on and off, so that you can be found as the most relevant and get more calls coming in. So we're going to use Google's own words to kick this off, and these are steps to a Google-friendly website. Basically, Google is transparently telling you what they're going to award you for if they see this in your online presence. So they want you to give visitors the information they're looking for. So tip number 1 is to provide high-quality content, meaning words, on your pages of your website, especially your homepage. Google takes the time out of their day to take this a step further and says, this is the single most important thing to do. So if you were to do a search for just about anything on the World Wide Web, what's the one thing that usually comes up? It's Wikipedia. Why? Well, I'm not even halfway down this page, and as I scroll back up, look at how many words are talking about this subject matter that's topically relevant. A lot of business owners that we talk to, they want a website that they feel good about. Unfortunately, what they perceive to be a good professional-looking website isn't actually generating them results. And why have a website if it's just going to cost you money? People say, oh, I need a website, and then they don't understand what to do with it in order to get it to start generating them revenue, calls, and customers. So we're going to share with you exactly what we need to do. We need to improve your online presence here by, number 1, putting more words on your page. You're sitting at 324. Now, some of your competition, they're only sitting at 286, but there are others that you need to beat out, and I highly recommend a bare minimum of 1,000 words on your homepage. I would even go further than that, but starting at 1,000 words is a very good starting point. So put more words on your page, and you're going to give more content and more opportunities to put more relative search phrases that you want to be found for, so that you can increase your relevancy in terms of Google's perspective, so that they can position you to get more customers and help more people in the marketplace. So that's tip number 1. Tip number 2, what you've been seeing here, is called a local business citation. And for any local business, it's any online mention of your business's name, address, and phone number. Now, you can put this anywhere on the World Wide Web, but some of the better places to go looking for are on local business directories, websites and applications, whether it's on mobile apps or desktop apps, and even on social media platforms. So what are we talking about? Well, first, you need to make sure that you have your GMB verified, so Google Map Listing. If you don't already have this, or if you're not familiar with it, go to google.com/places or /business. It looks like you have something dialed in or something that you're utilizing already, so that's a good thing. But next, we want to make sure that we take the name, address, and phone number that you have on your GMB and go put it in strategic places on the World Wide Web that are going to give you the best bang for your buck. And if you do this right, you're going to be able to use it to act as a vote, and it's going to be able to push your map listing up into this coveted map pack. Now, it's not an isolated thing. You can't count on it and just say, well, this guy said do citations and I'm going to get calls. No, that's not it. That's a component to this SEO process. If you want to be found at the top of search results, you need to put content on your page, and then you need to dial in your GMB and then take the information off of there and go strategically fill it out in other places. Now, there are some pages that you're going to find here in this GMB where you're not going to be for hairstylist Austin, Texas, or other things. So we were having trouble finding you. Hopefully we overlooked you, but if we didn't, that's a problem. And since there's 20 listings on here, you go 20, 40, 60, 80, 100, 120, 140, 160, 180. Let's assume that there aren't any other pages past number 10, and there probably are. So you're competing in about 180 to 200 different companies in this marketplace. And if you want to be at the top here, you've got to earn your way. So tip number 1 was content. Tip number 2 is citation. So now that we've discussed this, how do you go find these places? What do you do with them? So you can find a listing like here, and this has a list of about 100. So if you want to go after this, that's fine. You could outsource it to us, and we'll go after 300 of the best bang for your buck locations. We're professionals. We've done this for a living. We've tested places. We know where to put your name, address, and phone number and other things on here. And we're going to show you exactly what you want, because if you don't want to outsource it to us, you can either do this before work, during working hours, when you should be helping other clients or putting out fires, maybe after work, or if you have kids, you can burn the midnight oil. Here's what you can do. You can go to each one of these locations one by one. You have to create an account. You have to get it submitted and wait for approval so you can actually control and use your account. Once it's live, which doesn't usually take very long, the next part's going to take a little bit longer because you have to go in and claim your business listing. In Bing, for example, that's a search result place. That's a search engine. Yelp is more of a review platform. But let's go back to Bing. Even here, you still need to claim your business listing, which is free. And then you need to fill it out with not just your name, address, and phone number, but really build these out. These can act as more lines in the water. People go to Facebook. Facebook is the second used platform to Google. You can go to Foursquare, Yelp. There's all these different places you can go to. Yellow Pages or YP. And you don't know where they're coming from, but if you have more lines in the water, you have a higher chance of bringing more in. How do I know? I built up a Yelp listing for a tree service that I just started working with. They haven't been found at the top of search results or even 3 pages from the top quite yet, and they already started getting calls. It turns out it was from their Yelp listing. So these citations do work if you position them and effectively build them out. So what do you need to do? Put your name, address, and phone number on there, but don't stop there. Put a logo on there. Put a company photo if you can. Put a long description, a short description, business hours. Really dial this stuff in and make it look professional, authentic, and credible. So then you get to submit it for verification. Now here's where things get tricky. Sometimes you need to have a postcard sent to you. Other times you need somebody to call to verify that you submitted it. Oftentimes, and this is what Yelp does, they will expect that you submit this, and then they get to call you and say, hey, we want to verify that you submitted this. Really what they're doing is they're using it as an excuse to pitch you on the back of that verification call. A lot of business owners that we've talked to, they don't like partnering with Yelp because they'll upsell them into a long-term contract that they can't get out of, and then they end up not getting leads. They're disappointed, but they're still at like a really expensive contract that they're not happy with. So we don't offer long-term contracts. We don't lock you into something like that. We're strictly month to month, but we also are willing to fire ourselves if we don't produce results. But at the end of the day, these are going to generate, all right, these citations are going to generate marketing calls. They'll die down after a few weeks, but it's a necessary evil in order to get those votes to be at the top of search results here, especially in the coveted map listing where over 70% of the marketplace are coming to find a service provider. They could find you. You have to go through this. So tip number 1 was content. Tip number 2 was citations. And tip number 3 we're going to go into right now is called a backlink. And we've all seen clickable text right here that's highlighted. When I hover over this, look down in this lower left and see where this is actually going to take you once you click on it. So we have this clickable link from page A, or the page that we're on right now, is going to take you to arbitrarily named page B, or a second place. So Google interprets this whole situation as a vote. And not all votes are created equal, just like not all citation locations are created equal. So you can no longer beat the competition by just having a volume of backlinks. You now have to get quality of backlinks. Google came out with a patent back in 2013 that also puts together ideas of topic relevancy. So you really have to do this backlinking thing well and right. You can go learn it. You can outsource it to us, whatever you want. At the end of the day, it's your business and everything is your fault, right? So everything is your responsibility and you have to make this go. You can either do it yourself or outsource it. But at the end of the day, you want to make sure that you dial this in, because we have this little tool here called SEO Quick, and it gives us a quick snapshot of what's going on with your online presence. Age is a factor, and you can't fake age, so you have to build out your online presence with other things like more pages, more content, more words on your page. How about backlinks? You're sitting at 0, whereas Urban Betty is whooping you with 613 backlinks and over 400 pages that are actually indexed on the Google search result. So if you want to beat them out, you got to get more words on your page, citations, and then dial in your backlink game and do it well, do it right, and do it smartly so that you can start being found here and get more calls. Now, if you think we have a few tricks up our sleeve, we invite you to hit reply and schedule a quick 18-minute conversation. Again, not a hard sales pitch or anything. We just want to see if it's a fit. If it's not, fine, we'll go make somebody else rich. But we see an opportunity to help you. That's why we're reaching out. And if you think there's an opportunity to partner with us, that we can help you build your online presence even better than it is now, then hit reply. Let us know you'd like to schedule a quick 18-minute conversation. We'll ask some questions. You can ask some questions too. And if you like what you hear, we can explore things a little bit further. So with that, hit reply. Let us know you'd like to schedule a time, and we'll talk to you soon.